Okay, we are here to learn the artificial intelligence with machine learning, right? Okay, so artificial intelligence is a buzzword. Okay, before starting, am I audible to everyone? If yes, then please write yes in the chat box. See yes from everyone there. All right, fine. So artificial intelligence is a buzzword in the industry today for a very good reason. Okay, so you can say it as AI or let it be artificial intelligence. So AI has already made so much progress in the technological field, and according to the Gartner report of AI, is going to create some 2.3 millions of jobs by 2020. Right. So it will replace the humans and will come with a 2.3 millions of job over the world for now. Right. So we'll get started with the AI. Okay. Someone has came. Let him in there. Right, fine. So we'll see what is artificial intelligence. We'll also see the importance of artificial intelligence. We will be looking for the domains and the applications of AI, also the job profiles and the company who are hiring, some of the companies who are hiring for the AI. Okay, please mute. Okay, thank you. So, what is AI? First, we going with the introduction. We have completed this one, right? So, what is AI? First of all, we'll see what is AI. So, AI is a technique that enables to mimic human behavior. Exactly, right? What we do, first of all, when we try to understand the artificial intelligence, how we'll understand it? See, what is intelligence there? It's comprised of some 5 to 7, 8 topics. I'll be covering those. Okay, so that is particular called as your intelligence. Let it be X, Y, Z. I'll discuss later. So mainly five type of attributes comprise your intelligence. So let those be intelligence. So what is then artificial, which is something man-made, right? Which we made actually. So what is artificial intelligence? If we combine all these terms, we come to know that when we try to apply intelligence on some artificial object, that particular term is called as your artificial intelligence, right? So AI is a technique which enables machine to mimic human behavior. So why human behavior? Because we try to apply the intelligence of how we think. Okay, so AI is the theory and the development of computer systems able to perform tasks normally require HI. Now what is HI there? So going to the before learning the AI, what we should have is your HI, which is called as your human intelligence. Human intelligence. Alright. So you should have HI before learning the AI. Alright. So human intelligence requires a lot of things. We'll focus on later what human intelligence require. So most of the things you can see on your screen, it's visual perception, it's a speech recognition, the decision making, translation between languages, commonly known as your NLP. Alright. So these are some of the things we focus on. Now the next section we come down, that is your importance of AI. Now if you ask me, AI is the simulation of HI or human intelligence done by the machines programmed by us. So the machines you need to learn how to reason or do some self-correction as a needed along the way. So if a machine can do that, we can say that it is an AI machine or like that. Okay. So AI is accomplished by studying of how human brain thinks, learn, decide, and work while trying to solve a problem. Then now using these outcomes to study as a basis of developing the intelligent software or a systems in yourself. Okay, so let's continue for the understanding the importance of the AI. Okay, so what are the importance of AI? So AI has made again possible to for the machines to learn from the experience and grow from, or you can say grow like a human. Okay, grow like a human tasking nature, right? So a lot of flashy examples of artificial intelligence you would hear about, like for the self-driving car or chess playing computers, or really having deep learning on natural language processing or neuralistic linguistic programming. Okay, so these technologies, computers can be trained to accomplish specific tasks by processing a large number of amount of data and recognizing patterns in your data. Okay, so there are a lot of areas in which actually contribute this AI. Okay, some of them are, you can say it as the mathematics, sociology, philosophy, computer science, psychology, neuroscience, biology. Okay, these all donate something to their area of the AI. How? So if we have looked the importance of the AI, we'll see that AI automates repetitive learning and discovery. Okay, I'll discuss it later. Okay, so it discovers through data, right? So AI perform frequent high volume computerized tasks reliably and without a fatigue, right there. Okay, so what AI does is the second point we can consider is that the AI adds intelligence to the existing products. If you have any product, let's say you are having a common machine with a common programming out there, like do a bit of much programming to come out with a artificial intelligence product. We just apply some of the intelligence or let the machine learn over there. So we come with the artificial intelligence product. Okay. So AI will not be sold as an individual application. Rather, products you already use will be improved with the AI capabilities. And much like you can say for Google Assistant was added as a feature to the new generation of mobile phones, right? So that is what. So AI adapts through progressive learning algorithm. Okay, these are some of the points I'm saying. To let the data for the programming, the algorithm becomes a classifier or a predictor. You can say for any algorithm will be using machine learning. Will be using a lot of algorithms there that are commonly also known as your algos. Okay, so we'll be using all those. So AI adapts these progressive learning algorithms. Okay. So just as the algorithm can teach itself how to play any game, or it can teach itself what product to recommend next online, and so on. There are a lot of examples for those things. Moving on. Okay. So also AI analyzes more and deeper data using neuralistic networks that work many hidden layers. Now, what is deep learning? We'll go in the next sessions. Don't worry. We'll go after the AI completes. We'll go in the DL. So there we'll learn that we'll have some of the layers interconnected with some hidden layer. Let's say one, two, let's say 2, 3, or 4. This will be having an intercorrelation between one particular model, and that will be correlated with all those things, giving a common output. We'll see that, don't worry. So AI analyze more and deeper data using the NLP or neural networks. Okay, the more data you give, actually, the more data you give, the more accurate your model will be trained. Okay, so it achieves your incredible accuracy through a deep neural network, which was like previously impossible it was to do. Okay, then the AI techniques from the deep learning, or you can say basically we do there the image classification or the object recognition, and these are now be used for finding the cancer or the MRIs on the very same accuracy of a high trained radiologists. Okay, so what are the applications of the AI? Okay. So various type of applications are there for the AI. There are many various. I am discussing a few of them, which are very important for our day-to-day life, right? So we have speech recognition. What are those things? We'll discuss apart in the later on. So we have speech recognition. We have machine translation. We have facial recognition. We have virtual personal assistants as for your Cortana, Google, and all these, right? We have chatbots with us. We have self-driving cars. So these are some of the applications we are having now. Okay. Now, when we switch out to the domains of the AI, we'll get to know about the machine learning, neural networks, robotics, expert systems, fuzzy logic, and NLPs. Now, what are those things? I'll discuss it. Now, neural networks. Coming to the neural networks. Okay, I'll have that in fine. So we'll discuss 1 second. logic, data science. Alright, so discuss here. Are you using headphones? If my no, I'm not using headphones. Just wait a moment. Let me fix it. I think that network is not working well. Let's move with this one. That would be fine. Don't worry. Okay. So yes, we were in the phase of importance of AI was over. This all was done. We were in the machine learning. So before moving to the machine learning, I'll be talking about a bit of your things for like the neural networks and all these things. Okay. So what are the neural networks? If we go with a very short definition of neural. So AI covers a lot of domains. Okay, I can see people coming there still. Sneha Parmesh. It would be a bit precise if you use headphones. Alright. Now it will not be scattered. Okay, that will be fine. Don't worry. Alright, so neural networks are a class of models within the general machine learning literature, right? You can define it something like that. So, neural networks are a very special set of algorithms that have revolutionized machine learning and the artificial intelligence. Okay, we'll discuss about the neural networks. We have a proper session for the neural networks. We'll go with that. What about the robotics? Right. So robotics is a kind of a branch of AI which is composed of different branches and applications for different type of robots. Right. So AI robots are artificial agents acting in the real world environment. So AI robot you can say is aimed at manipulating the objects by perceiving, picking, and moving and destroying it. Right. What about the expert systems? So in AI, you can define your expert system as a computer system that emulates the decision-making ability of a human expert, or it is a computer program that uses AI technology to stimulate the judgment and behavior of a human or an organization that can expert the knowledge or to experience in a particular field. Okay, like that you can define it for. So when we come to the fuzzy logic, so fuzzy logic is a very special approach for computing on the base of degrees of truth. I'm saying degrees of truth because you have Boolean values over there. That is, your outcomes would be always Booleans. Especially, it could be 1 or 0, true or false. Most of the cases, these will be the two outcomes for you. Okay, uh, it can be you can say success or failures. Okay, these are some of the outcomes you will be getting in your fuzzy logic, right? So it is a solution to complex the problem fields in a Boolean manner, and it reassembles human reasoning and decision making there. Okay. So when you come to the NLP, that is your natural language processing, it refers to the artificial intelligence of the method of communicating with the intelligent systems using a natural language. Okay. So by utilizing the NLP and its components, one can easily organize the massive chunks and of your text data, performance on your numerous automated tasks, and meanwhile you can also solve a wide range of problems such as like for machine transition, named entry recognition, or sentimental analysis, or speech recognition, topic segmentation. So many more examples are there for it. Okay. So yeah, so when we go to the last topic of this one, there we get the job profiles and the company hiring. So what is exactly the job profiles? So according to the job site, indeed, the demand for the AI skills has more than doubled over the past 3 years, and the number of job postings by increased has been increased up by 119%. So the AI, okay, this AI will give you a complete different job profiles. So if AI appeals you and if you want a job in the AI sector, then there are some of the topics I'll be dealing now. So you have machine learning engineer. So these engineers are very sophisticated programmers who develop the machines and systems that can learn and apply the knowledge without being specific direction, right? The AI goal is of a machine learning engineer, and they are the computer programmers, but their focus goes beyond the specifically programmed machines to perform a specific task. They create programs that will enable machines to take actions without being spatially or specifically directed to perform those tasks, which could earn a whooping of around $111,000 per annum, right? So these are the salary as well as your machine learning engineer's post. Okay. Now, second up, we come with the data scientists. Okay. So data scientists are those who crack complex data problems with their very strong expertise in a certain discipline manners, right? So they work in very several elements to related to mathematics and statistics, computer science. Say you can say that the data scientist role is of a position of a very specialist persons. Okay, so you can specialize in different type of skills like speech analytics, text analytics, image processing, video processing, medicine simulations, or material simulation, maybe sometime like let be etc. Okay. So each of these specialist roles is very much limited in the number, and your for such a specialist we get an average salary of $91,470 per annum for it. Okay. So and then we come up with the AI engineer. So this engineer works with very algorithms and neural networks and other tools to advance the field of artificial intelligence in some of the way. So these engineers may also choose between the projects involving weak or strong AI. I'll be discussing the types of there. So where different setups focus on the different capabilities of the salary of the AI engineer, and the AI engineer get a salary of around $105,000 of 204, so 44, sorry. Okay, so we get the salaries as that much. Next coming up, we have our business intelligent developer. So business intelligent developer is a job who spends a lot of time by doing researching and planning solutions for existing problems of the company, right? And the business intelligent developer is responsible for aggregating data from multiple resources in a very efficient data warehouse, and he designs particularly he you can say designs or he manipulates the enterprise level solutions for a very large multi-dimensional databases. Okay, so BI or business intelligence, we compare in the data science, business intelligence versus data science, we do a lot of times. So business intelligent developers play a, you can say, a key role in the efficiency and profitability of a business. That can be as a career that is in high in demand or commands of an annual median salary of approx $92 to 278. Okay, these are the some of the four jobs. Moving up, we have our research scientists. So I'm probably doing this job of there. Uh, so research scientists are responsible for designing the and undertaking or analyzing formation of the controlled laboratory-based investigations there, or maybe sometimes for the experiments and the trials. So you could work for the government laboratories, environmental organizations, specialist recognitions, or in the research organizations or universities, and can earn an average salary of around dollars. This is an average one of $105,000. Okay, so at the last we can get with the big data architect. So they are the big data engineers, and the architect have almost among the best paying job in the artificial intelligence. Okay, because they deal with a lot of data science, and in fact they command an annual median salary of $151. or 307. Okay, so big data solutions architect is very much responsible. Okay, they are very much responsible for managing the full life cycle of a Hadoop solution. When you go to learn about the data science, there are big data, there are Hadoop structures. So that is very much responsible for the full cycle of the Hadoop solution. This includes by creating the requirement analysis, the platform selection, the design of the technical architecture, the design of the application, you can say, the development of that, testing and deployment of an application of a proposed solution. There are a lot of things to go inside the big data architect, right? So there they get paid for that, right? So moving up, the companies hiring. So companies that hire uh, top AI talent range starting from the Argo AI. They start from the Argo AI to the tech giants like for the IBM. Okay, so according to the Glassdoor, these are the leading employers. You can see as Amazon, Adobe, IBM, Facebook. Okay, Microsoft. A lot of there. Okay, so these are the leading employers who hired up the top AI talent over the past years. So with this, we come to the just understanding of how AI works on. Okay, so let's see the type of the AI we have. We'll focus on the various types of an AI we have. Okay, so now to sum up again, giving just an example. So, do you think the concept on the existence of artificial intelligence is new? The question arises like that. So, well, when there was no internet in the past, people were researching on the artificial intelligence just by reading books and checking out articles in the newspaper, right? So, what was there for them? What was the artificial intelligence? So, well, this term sure did a lot of curiosity for themselves. Okay, it created a lot of curiosity for them. So, people wanted to know if they could teach computers to learn. Where his People wanted to know whether they could teach the computer to learn like how a young child does exactly. So the concept here was to basically use a trial and error to develop some formal reasoning. This trial and error is used in a machine learning technique called as your reinforcement learning. We'll be focusing on that when we will start our algorithms. We'll learn that. Okay. So let's talk about how the AI came into the existence. Okay, we have understood the AI, what is that, and how it came into the existence. Let's understand. So the term artificial intelligence was actually coined back in 1956 by John McCarthy. Sir. He was a professor at the Dartmouth. Okay, so for very much years, it was thought that computers would never match the power of a human brain, but it was proven that not to be the case. Okay, so well, back then we did not have data and computation power. In the back, long time ago, not very long, just a long time ago. So we don't have enough data and the computational power to work on. That's why we could not came the AI could not came in the existence. Okay, but now with the big data coming into the existence and the advent of GPUs and TPUs or artificial intelligence, there we can say it is possible for now, right? So did you know that the 90% of the world's data has been generated in the past 2 years alone? Sorry. Okay. So computers can make a sense of all these information very quickly. Very soon we can just start your AI, okay, with a very less artificial and a lot of intelligence. If you can see intelligence or artificial intelligence being a very less or a little less artificial and a lot more intelligent. That is your artificial intelligence. So on a conceptual level, if you see, from my opinion, is the simulation of your HI again and done by your machine programmed by us. So if you see, if I do it like, if I write the AI, so I will be writing it as the simulation of HI, you can say is done by the machines or which is programmed by us. That's all. Okay. So the machine needs to learn how to reason and do some self corrections for all, right? So we have a detailed algorithm which artificial intelligence systems can use, make off, and they can perform huge tasks faster and more efficiently. So we have terms called as machine learning, deep learning, and to achieve artificial intelligence. So a survey of an artificial intelligence. I read about a survey of artificial intelligence which was conducted among the experts in 2012, which reported some 50% chance that AI would be developed between 2040 and 2050, rising up by 90% in 2075. So, in contrast, some AI experts believe such projections are widely optimistic. Okay, given on the very limited understanding of the human brain and believe that artificial intelligence is still the centuries away. Because artificial intelligence are nowadays, we can see it's possible there. So, some of them believe that it is just centuries ago or centuries more away to come on for the AI. They say that it's coming between the 2075 or 40, 50. So it's not probably like that. So if we see the type of artificial intelligence, let me go to the types of that. If I end this show, and let me go to. Yes. So when we go to see the type of artificial intelligence, we will come to see that there are two type of artificial intelligence. It is one is a kind of a narrow AI, which is your narrow artificial intelligence. One is a kind of a weak AI, and we'll go to see it. So we have three stages. Okay, that A and I. Okay, we consider it as a two stage because super intelligence is something which is very much not possible. Okay, it is possible that, but not exactly, or not, we just don't give or go through all these procedures. Okay, so we consider as a very two thing, that is your narrow AI and weak AI or wide AI. Okay, so we have typically we have three kind of that we have artificial narrow intelligence, we have artificial general intelligence, and the artificial super intelligence. Meanwhile, they are also called as ANI, AGI, and ASI. Alright, so we'll get to it now. So let's talk about the narrow artificial intelligence. So narrow AI is the artificial intelligence system that is designed and trained for a very particular task, like for the virtual assistants, alright, such as the Amazon Alexa, Apple Series, or they use narrow AI. So narrow AI is sometimes also referred to as a weak AI. However, that does not mean that the narrow AI is insufficient or something of that sort, right? So, on the contrary, it is extremely good at routine jobs. Try to understand. These are very much good in the routine jobs, both physical and cognitive. We can say it is a very narrow AI that is threatening to replace many human jobs throughout the world. That is exactly you can see now, right? So, however, your curiosity or my curiosity will be on what artificial intelligence did not stop here. What is artificial intelligence? Why this did not stop here? So, I was digging a little bit insider. So, I found that a wide AI there. Okay, when I started learning there, so I found a wide AI there. So wide AI is a system of cognitive abilities, so that when a system is presented with an unfamiliar task, it is intelligent enough to find a solution. That is exactly what will be going in. So here the system is capable of having some intelligent behaviors across a varied, or you can say various of the tasks or variety of the tasks, from driving car to just telling out a joke. So driving car, you can imagine of a right Tesla driving car, Google's car there, and Google's, if you apply a joke of that, Google's automatically tell a joke for you every day, right? So that is there. So the techniques aim at replicating and surpassing many, ideally all the capacities of the HI, human intelligence, such as for your, you can say, for the risk analysis or the cognitive processes. Okay, so we'll go ahead. Where is my third PPT? 1 second, hold on. I think it's there. Alright, see. So the next we come up with the artificial general intelligence, you can say. Okay, so artificial general, also known as AGI, as I said, is a strong AI now. This is not a weak one. This is a strong AI. So this is a stage in the evaluation of artificial wherein machines will possess the ability to think and to make some decisions just like a human. Okay, and these are currently no existing examples for the strong AI. Okay, however, it is believed that we will be soon able to create some of the good machines that can work smart as much as humans. Okay, so we have machines working there, but not very much smart. That, however, we have some of the examples for the AGI case. Let it be Tesla's car, and these are some of the examples having there in the AGI system. Okay. So, strong AI considered to be a threat to human existence by many scientists when we learn. So, including the Stephen Hawking, who stated that the development of full artificial intelligence could spell the end of the human race. Okay, it would take off its own and redesign itself for a ever increasing rate. So, a human who had limited by slow biological evaluation could not compete and would be superseded. Okay, so this was the line said by our uh, scientist, the Stephen Hawking, sir, right? So there we come up with the ASI, which I was talking about. That ASI is the stage of artificial intelligence where the capability of computers will surpass human beings. So ASI is currently a hypothetical situation as depicted in movies, like you see in movies, right? Robots come in the existence and they solve a lot of problems, and then man can control that robot to. So we see in movie it happens, right? We have seen in the movie called Robot 2.0, and then in the see and the Hollywood and Bollywood, there something which is not even possible. So that is a stage of ASI. These are the stages of ASI. This is a hypothetical situation where which we depict in the movies and the science fiction books, or the machines have taken over the world. That could be possible in some years. So I believe that machines are not very far from reaching this stage, because it's taking all over the places are being taken by the machines nowadays. So these stage taking into considerations with the current pace now. So the pace of the progress of artificial intelligence is very much going in incredibly fast, and this is also stated by the Elon Musk too, as you must be knowing Elon Musk there. Okay, so these were some of the stages of your artificial intelligence as I discussed for your ASI, ANI, and the AGI. Right now, if we compare or summarize the things, we will get to know that narrow AI is dedicated to assist with or take over a specific task, and a general AI takes knowledge from one domain, transfers to the another domain. Right? We'll see the examples for all these things. Don't worry. In the super AI, we have machines that are an order of a magnitude smarter than the humans. Okay. So based on this, we'll go to see the types of AI. So there are some type of AI. You can probably start with the reactive machines. When someone asks you that to explain the different type of AI, you must know to categorize them on the basis of functionalities. So on the basis of functionality of AI based system, AI can be categorized into the reactive machines. So the first type we are going to read now. So the this type of AI includes machine that operates solely based on the present data. Okay, and this data taking into the current situation. So the reactive AI machine cannot form interference from the data to evaluate this future actions. Now they can perform a very narrow range of predefined tasks, so you can term it into the category of an ANI. So this is an example you can see of a reactive AI, is a famous IBM machine. Okay, that was built in 1960 around. Probably not sure about that. One in point PPT I have written the date. I will see that. But the match was played between 1996 and 99. It's almost like that. So the match was played between the Grand Chess Master, right, Chess Grandmaster, right, He is Gary Kasparov, and the opponent is your IBM's machine, reactor machine there. Okay. Next, moving on. So we have limited memory. So like the name suggests you, limited memory can make informed and improved decision by studying the past data and improving its memory. It is a kind of an ASI, you can say. Okay. So there you can consider that the systems takes knowledge from one domain and transfers to the other domain. Okay. So yeah, such an AI, you can say limited memory uh, for a temporary memory, or that can be used to store some past experiences where you store how to turn the car, how to drive on what type, or self-driving cars particularly. They collect the data in the recent past to make immediate decisions. Like they have sensors with them. These cars have sensors to identify civilians crossing the road, step roads, traffic signals, and so on to make very better decisions on. Okay, so that helps to prevent any future accidents, but is not affordable for everyone to go up without those. Okay, so nowadays what is being happen? We are trying to make some of the good achievements in the road itself, in the roads, so that to avoid the accidents, not only by the car, by the every particular vehicle, or okay, so avoid the accidents over there. So then we come up with the theory of mind. So the theory of mind is a more advanced type of AI now. This category of machine is speculated or to play a major role in the psychology sectors, right? So this type of AI will focus mainly on the emotional intelligence of the human beliefs and can be comprehended very easily. So this theory of AI has not been yet fully developed, but rigorous research is nowadays happening in this section of all that. Okay, so next we come with the limited memory, or it is sorry, not limited memory. It is self-awareness. Okay, so when we come to this topic, I just let's pray that we don't reach this stage. Okay, because this is the stage where machines will have their own consciousness and they will become their own self-aware. So this type of AI is not little far-fetched given the present circumstances. However, in future this stage might be reached, and it is a stage of super intelligence that is might be possible. Okay, that is not impossible, it might be possible. So genius like Elon Musk and the Stephen Hawking has even said that consistently and they have warned actually about the evolution of the AI. So AI is a very vast field that covers many domains like machine learning, deep learning, and so on. Right. So branches of AI we have thought on. So let's go with some of the more branches on. So AI can be used to solve some real world problems by implementing the processes. So if I go with some of the process, as I said, machine learning, I'll be discussing these. So machine learning, you can consider it as a science of getting machines to interpret and the process of analyzing data in order to work with the real world problems, complexity of the big data, and to solve the real world problems, right? So under the machine learning, we have three of the categories. One is called as your supervised learning. Then we have unsupervised learning. We have reinforcement learning, right? So to understand more about the machine learning, we'll have a particular session. Don't worry for that. So now we'll go with the understanding of deep learning. So deep learning, there is a process which is a subset of a machine learning and a subset of artificial intelligence. All right. So if we combine, if we write it as a Venn diagram,
excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, can you please repeat it again? The types of machine learning.
Types we have as your supervised learning, unsupervised learning.
Yes, sir.
You have supervised learning, you have unsupervised learning, and you have the reinforcement learning. REIN.
Yes, sir.
R.
Thank you, sir.
EIN. Welcome. So we have three of these types. Okay, let me clear these. Alright. So I was saying that if you draw a Venn diagram, if I say that this is an AI, so I'll find it here that inside this AI, I have a topic called as machine learning. And in this machine learning, I'll again have a topic called as deep learning. So deep learning, you can say, is a subset of an ML, which is a subset of an AI. So deep learning is a subset of AI. Alright. And for machine learning is just a subset of an AI, like that. Okay. So moving on. So deep learning is the process of implementing the neural networks on very high dimensional data to gain insights and to form the solutions. The deep learning is an advanced field of machine learning that can be used to solve more advanced problems of some categorizations or the logic behind the face recognition verification algorithm of the Facebook, self-driving cars, virtual assistants like Siri, Alexa. We'll discuss more about the deep learning in details further, right? So today is just an introduction to the AI for you guys. We'll cover all the first three modules of our course, that is for introduction in part. So we'll cover all these. For tomorrow, we'll be getting some of the statistical developments section of the Python. So we'll discuss it in the end of the. So now we go to the NLP. Now NLP is something you can call it as for your natural language processing. So NLP refers to the science of drawing insights or from the natural human language in order to communicate with machines and grow business. Okay. The NLP, who uses NLP if we ask for? So there's a company or it's like Twitter, you can say. So Twitter uses NLP to filter out the terroristic language in their tweets. Okay, so as to that is the major reason why the media or they uses more the Twitter apart from any other application, because they uses NLP to find out the terroristic language. They can easily find out and they can make it off. Okay, so Amazon uses this NLP to understand the customer reviews to improve their experiences, also using the fuzzy logic combined to form these answers. Okay, so NLP is, I'll give you a brief introduction of the NLP further. Right. So then we come up with the robotics section. Now you might be aware with this particular one, that is your Sophia. So robotics is a branch of artificial intelligence which focus on different branches and applications on robots. And these robots are artificial agents, as I said. These acts on the real world environment to produce the results taken by the accountable actions. Like this is particularly your Sophia. It is also said as your humanoid. Okay, this is also said as humanoid. Now we come with the fuzzy logic. Okay, so the fuzzy logic, as I said, is a computing approach based on the principles of degrees of truth, where we having a Boolean value. Now this Boolean value could be 1 or 0. This could be true or false. This could be success or failure. This could be yes or no. Anything, but always Boolean. Okay. So let's move to fuzzy logic. Also, you can say is your use for the medical fields to solve the complex problems on the decision taking, whether a person have a cancer or not. Okay, can be used for automatic gearboxes in the vehicle environment. So moving ahead now. So we see the expert systems now. These expert systems is an AI-based computer system that learns and reciprocates the decision-making ability of a human development or human expert, right? So expert systems, if then logical notifications or notations, you can say, to solve some of the complexities problems. Now it does not rely on the conventional producer or expert systems. You can say are the mainly used information management and the medical fields, loan analysis or virus detection sectors. Like these are some of the types where we using the most of the detection systems of the machine or expert systems. Alright, so these are the things. So now if we compare what is AI versus the machine learning versus the deep learning, we'll come to see that if we see the generic definitions. So AI is a broader umbrella under with the machine learning or deep learning comes, and you also see in the previous diagram I have made it there. Yeah. So you can also see it's a machine learning subset of an AI, and the deep learning is a subset of AI. So this is how. So if we see exactly the AI, it is a technique which allows the machine to act like human by replicating their behavior and the nature. Okay. So if we go to the machine learning is a subset of AI. It allows the machine to learn and make predictions on based of their experiences. We'll have machine learning session, don't worry. And if you talk about the AI, or if you talk about the deep learning, so deep learning is a particular kind of machine learning that achieves some greater power and flexibilities by learning to present the world as nested hierarchy of concepts and abstractions. Okay, this is how it helps them for the deep learning ones, right? So now we next move up to see the most important methods, or some of the common important methods in the sectors of the AI, to understand how it works more, right? So artificial intelligence, as you can see for the major use case, and now it's almost completed up. Yes. So, for the major use case of artificial intelligence, AI is used as an almost everywhere today, right? So, it can be used for mail spam filtering, credit card fraud detections, virtual assistants, and very generic topics to move on. So, I believe that there is no end or limitations to the number of applications we use for the AI with our lives better, right? So next up we'll see that artificial intelligence, how they help in the sports sector. So in the sport, as we saw, it was a Deep Blue machine, which was the first computer chess playing system to win both a chess game and a chess match against a reigning world champion. This was Gary Kasparov. Okay, so Deep Blue won for the first time, won its first game, even you can say. It won its first game against a world champion on 10th February 1996, where it defeated Gary Kasparov in the game one of a sixth game match. You now understand how it works. Okay. So, however, Deep Blue was heavily upgraded and played Kasparov again in the May 1997. So again, it defeated and again became the champion of that. Okay. So there we can understand how AI works on. So nowadays, artificial intelligence available on the very free chess games on your phones, or in your laptops, all those. So that are now a bit easy. So artificial intelligence can also work for the rescue machines, while major required for the first responders of the victims of earthquakes, floods. So there we also use artificial intelligence, and aerial footage to determine the people of the stranded, or the time critical process, you can say, to write the basic algorithms. So there are a lot of things. So artificial intelligence also works as a wildlife poaching prevention. So how, let me see if there are any problems. Okay. So how it helps there. So hunting of wildlife species for poaching is kind of a global problem and also an illegal task nowadays. So for example, the latest African census showed 30% decline in the elephant population between 2007 and 2014. So wildlife conservation areas have been established to protect these species from these poachers, and these areas are protected by a park rangers. So these rangers, what they do is, they, however, do not have the resources to patrol the vast areas, because it's impossible to just patrol all the jungle in one particular day, all the forest in one particular day. Okay, so what they do, so a place is there, sorry, so a place is there called as Ugnadas. So there's Queen's Elizabeth National Park uses predictive modeling to predict poaching threat levels. How? So they use efficient and the feasible patrol routes for the park rangers. So they use the device that can track the wild animals on their sanctuaries. Okay, so it can also work in the smart agriculture using the neural networks again. So you can predict the analytic models for affecting the future yields. So, for example, Berlin-based agricultural tech startup Peat, has developed a deep learning algorithm called as your Plantex, which can identify and detects whether the nutrients deficiencies in the soil is there or not. So that is in the healthcare, as I said, it could be for a better surgeries and prosthetics. Okay, so there it could be help for all, and yeah, in the wildlife we have covered. So AI has a very big impact in our daily day-to-day life, right? So we saw all the things regarding to how AI comes in the existence, what is AI, how many types of AI are there, how could be these important for us, and a lot of things there. Okay, so let me go to some other PPT and so on. Might be an AI, I think. Yes, all right. So I have discussed all these things. So I was going to discuss you about the intelligence and all these things. So this is the sir who termed the coin of the AI. Okay. So here for defining a particular, you can define AI, the development of computer systems that are capable of performing the normally tasks on all these. These I have discussed, right? So, according to the father, he said that artificial intelligence is the science and the engineering of making intelligent machines, especially the intelligent computer programs. Okay, he said that it is a way of making a computer controlled robot for a software which can think intelligently or in a very same manner in which the intelligent human thinks. Okay, he accomplished it by studying how human brain thinks to the deep learning and how human brain learns and decide and work while trying to solve a problem using the machine learning complex, and then using the outcomes of this study as the basis of the development of the softwares which have intelligent powers and the systems to work on. Okay, so many of times students have the differences that or the misconceptions on the topic of whether the AI and ML are same. So I think now these conceptions are now over because your AI or machine learning is the subset of your AI and not exactly the same. Okay, moving on. So these are the sectors we have seen, right? We have discussed that. So what can a system with AI and a system without AI can do? So a system without AI, probably a computer with a program without AI, can answer a very specific question. And as contrast to the system with AI, can program or can give you the answers to the questions or the generic questions. Like take an example. Take a good example such as I have given. Let's say I said. Uh, this to be machine, let it be white. I said this to be machine A and this to be machine B. So I came and taught this machine that 2 multiplied by 3 is equals to 6. And I came to this machine and I taught this that to multiply any operator, this is used as if we have two operators, you will be doing A multiplied by B and we will be giving the answer of that. That's all. Okay, so machine learns the thing that if you are given some operators, you have to just multiply it if you are asking for the multiplication, and then you have to revert the answer of it. And this machine understands that if we have got this 2 and 3, I'll be multiplying it and then we'll giving the answer. So this is a system with AI case and a system with AI and without AI case. Okay, so in this without AI, if I ask a new question to the system, let's say now let's say I asked that what is the value of 2 multiplied by 3. The system says that it's 6, so it's correct. I asked the system what is the value of 2 multiplied by 3. it also says 6. Absolutely correct. Now I came with the A system and I asked what's the value with 3 multiplied by 2. So it comes with an error giving it as a syntax error. Why the syntax error? Because it says that I have no input regarding to this topic. And why that's? Because we only gave the one particular, that 2 is multiplied by 3 give you 6. That's all. So we didn't give any of the much inputs for that. We gave only the one particular input and that the system has read on. So no modification has been done and it's not easy to modify anything. But a system with AI can answer that 3 multiplied by 2 is also equals to 6 because it knows to how to operate this operator. Okay, so that is much important. You should train your models on how to operate the things, not on the for a very specific questions. Okay, so that is how a model will done. So if we go for the requirement of AI, so the real world is very big and the data we get is more than that. Okay, so we have to do a lot of organizations. We have to do a well organized data. We have to make it formatted data to work on, and it keeps on changing it constantly, right? So probably if my birth year is something, so after 10 years also my birth year would be the same, right? It not be changed. So data keep constantly, but my age would be changed, keeping my year constant. So that is called as your data. Sometimes your data keep constant, somewhere your data changes constantly, right? So AI technique is a manner to organize the use of the knowledge efficiently. Okay, moving on. So requirement of AI is in the section in the sector of your gaming, and in the natural language, as I said, in the expert systems we discussed, the vision systems we discussed. So these are systems understand, interpret, and comprehend the uh, input of the machines. For example, a spy aeroplane takes photographs using the spatial information on the map of the areas and so on. Doctor use this to diagnose their patients, and the police use for the criminal face recognition. Most of the times, you would have been, if you have been seeing the CIDs. I see you most of the times. I see it every day. Okay, so if you see CID, they do the face recognition that is called as your FR. Okay, they do these things, right? So these are the things used in the AI sectors. A lot of things are there. Then we come with the topics of speech recognition, handwriting recognition, and intelligent robots. Okay, so the speech recognitions sometimes capable of hearing and comprehending the languages, you can say. And in the writing one, we have researchers, we have some experts who study the handwriting, and they then let know the machines how to read on. Okay, we have a special uh, library for that. It's MNIST data, where we recognize the uh, numbers basically. So we have intelligent robots to move on. So yeah, the okay, what is intelligence? So the ability, now you can just count of how many topics you need to have a intelligence. So the ability to calculate, to reason, perceive, learn from experience, analogies, relationships, store and retrieve the information from the memory, solve problems, comprehend complex ideas. You can use natural language fluently, classify things, you can generalize the things, you can adapt new situations. If all these things you can do, you have your human intelligence. And now you have your human intelligence, you can build a machine for an AI. So if you have anything missing from this, it is a bit, you can say, just very close, you are very close to AI, but not exactly you can build it. Okay, approximate to the AI, you can write it as. Someone came there. Fine. So this is what. So the first major thing, first more important thing is you should have the reasoning, you should have the learning, you should have the logistic reasoning, you should have the problem solving capacity, and you should have the perception. So if we combine it, we write it as your LRL square R P square S, and also sorry, it's R square L square P square S. This is the term we define intelligence in these terms. When we study, when I was studying, I was meant to learn that intelligence is something R square L square P square S. So you should also learn with this. Okay, so see what happens when you go with some of the problems. What you do? So for the problem, you have some perception. You apply some of the reasoning. There might it happen then you have to apply some of the logistic part of your brain. That could be the logistic reasoning, and that from applying all these things, what you do, you learn from that problem, and by learning what you solve that problem. That's exactly the 5 terms you do. Okay, so we were made learn with these things. Having an intelligence is something comprised of all of these things. Okay. So any times if anyone is asking you what is intelligence, just say it's R square L square P square S. That's all. Now let him learn what is R square L square P square S. Okay. So you go with this one. So everyone I think would be clear with the intelligence part. So when these were the intelligence stages, as I said, the ANI, AGI, or the ASI. So yes, it was built in the 1980s. I was correct. It was 80, not 70. So the game played between 96 and 97, not 99. So it was there, and the C you can see it probably 3.5 to 2.5 games of that. Right. Moving on. So this was a limited memory where the machine is comprised of machine learning models, and it derived the knowledge from the previously learned information or the data which has been stored. So probably uses a kind of your learning machine learning models. Could be a supervised learning, because the supervised learning we have some data that is your labeled data. We'll get to it, and not going in the machine learning part now. So I'll give you this PPT. You will go, and this is kind of a Sophia humanoid robot for you all. Yep. Now we'll see. This is a topic where the people get confused, and sometimes market make a fool to you, saying that we have an application that can detect the speech. That we have an application which is a voice recognition application or a speech recognition application, but people actually consider the speech and voice as the same, but not this. Speech is something where you aim to speech, you can say, is particularly which sees what is being spoken. This is for your speech one, and the voice seems to be that who is speaking in that particular part. So if my computer password, let's say, is cool, so if I say cool, so the computer will check whether I am saying or not. Whether I am saying or not. If I am saying, then it will check that is I am saying the correct password or not. If my password is correct or not. Right? So if any of the case goes wrong, that will be I will not be permitted into my system. Understood? It's not like I came and I told my password that my password is cool and that's login. It's not like that. So it has to recognize that who is speaking. So if who is speaking, will go to check whether the voice recognition is correct or not. If the voice recognition is correct, we'll see then the whether the speech recognition correct is not is correct or not. So speech is correct, that is your password is correct or not. The password is correct, okay. And who said this password? The voice matched, then it's okay. So speech and voice are some different things which you need to understand. Okay. So speech recognition is used in hand-free computing or menu navigation. Machine does not need training as for the speaker independent. Speaker is not dependent, and the voice recognition needs some training over there. Okay. That's what about the research in AI. You have expert systems there, and so on. These things. So you have fuzzy logic in a consumer electronics, automobiles, sections, and all these data. Right. Moving on. So here we come up with this. Okay, let me create this card. Fine. So these were the things we deal in the AI sections with all the modules. What are the type of AI? We dealt with all the things we saw. Your particularly as this is your syllabus. So what is artificial? What is the philosophy of AI? What are the goals of AI? What contributes to AI? Programming with and without AI. We saw the option there. What is the technique, AI technique? What are the applications of AI? The history of AI. We completed all these. Even if also we completed what is intelligence, what are the type of intelligence, what is intelligence composed of, what are the difference between a human and machine intelligence, right? This is the research in the application of research areas, the classification of AI, how many types of there, and the what it works on. Okay, so we see the artificial. We have still till here. The first three chapters have been concluded there now. Okay, so we'll start. We have all these things to do. What is fuzzy logic? What is fuzzy logic systems and all these things, right? What are the components of natural language processing? How does it works on? What is robotics and what is computer vision and all these things? What are neural networks? Then we'll go to the introduction of machine learning, and then we'll go to the linear regression with one variable, the cost function, institutions, the linear algebra, the logistic regression, Lagrangians, the neural networks, and then applying some of the machine learning models. Okay. Meanwhile, when I'll be discussing, because nowadays, or from first 2 to 3 days, you will be getting some theoretical class only. Okay, I'll discussing some of the practicals, and meanwhile, we'll also focus on the importance of the modules of some. I'll let you remember some of the methods of your pandas or numpy, scipy. So I think you guys are probably very much good with the Python language, isn't it? Anyone who knows, who not knows Python there? Yes. Now I think you can speak. So I speak a bit of around one. What's the time? Yes. So I speak out for a continuous 1 hour. All right. So yes. So who do not know Python a bit yet? Yet now you can speak up. Snehad, you don't know, and Madhu, you don't know, or do you know? You don't know there. I can see the answers from there. Okay, fine. Let me ask now one by one. So, Surya, just you give your introduction and you say whether you know Python or not. Okay, one by one, just start saying your introduction and also whether you know Python or not. Open your mic and speak out now, guys. So you will have to carry out with me the 40 hours. Okay, probably the 20 days with me. So you, okay, fine. If you don't know Python, no need to worry. We'll discuss the Python here also from the basics. Uh, yes, you can. Now, Surya, can you speak out? Okay, let it be there. So let's talk with the Sai. Yes, Sai. Who are you? From where are you? And do you know Python? A basic.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, sir. I'm from NIT Puducherry,
Okay.
and I know basics of Python, sir.
Okay. Till what you have completed the Python? Till what topic?
Like the basics of
Okay. Let
roots
me.
and all.
You have
completed,
completed the list, the dictionaries, the sets, the
I
tuples.
know, sir. Like I wanted to listen that, sir, and root arrange that.
Okay. So do you know NumPy, Pandas, SciPy?
No, sir. I don't know that.
Okay. You don't know that one, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's okay. Fine. So moving ahead, let's see who's this. This is Surender Suri. Okay. What about you? From where are you?
Hello, sir.
Yes. Hello.
सर मैं सुरेंद्र से हूँ
यस. कहाँ से आप?
आंध्र प्रदेश सर कर्नूल डिस्ट्रिक्ट आंध्र प्रदेश.
ऑल राइट. ओके. आपको पाइथन आती है?
नो सर.
ऑल राइट. नो
I
प्रॉब्लम.
don't
नो प्रॉब्लम.
I don't know sir Python.
ओके. फाइन. जिनको नहीं आती है, that's very good. We'll start from the basic. Don't worry. Okay. But
Yeah, thank you, sir.
who's this? What's your name?
Sir, can I speak now?
Yes, yes, you can speak. Yeah.
Yes, sir. This is Surya. I know Python. I just finished my course just a week before,
Okay.
and I'm from Warangal.
Varangal. You're from Varangal. All right. This is asking for the speech and voice. I'll discuss those others. Don't worry. Okay. So Surya, till where you know the Python basics?
Sir, I don't know the libraries. I just know only NumPy.
You know the NumPy. All right. No
Yes.
problem. Fine. What about the Pushpalatha from where you are?
Good evening, sir. I'm from Andhra.
Andhra Pradesh. Okay. Fine.
I don't know.
All right. Fine. I understand. What about Anusha? It's Ravichandra Ashwin. Okay. What about Anusha there? Her mic is not working, I think. Okay. Let's move to Sai Teja there. Okay, Sai. Hello. Good evening. From where you are?
Sir, my name is Satyja. I'm from Warangal. I know Python basics, sir. Basics, just basics.
So fine. Okay. Two from Varangal there. What about Misbah from where you are? Yes, sir. Just a minute. No problem. Anusha, take your time there. Oh, yes, it was Ravichandran. I was correct. Fine. So, what about Misbah there? From where you are? Okay, mic is not working, I think. Let's move ahead. Yes, Supriya Reddy. You can speak now.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
My name is Supriya. I'm from Anantapur.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know Python, sir.
All right. Supriya, have you attended my sessions before? Because I was having a student of.
Yes, sir.
You have attended where? In the cloud.
No, sir.
So where? I thought that you have attended. Okay, it's fine then. It would probably be another one. Okay, it's Sneha. Yes, Sneha. What about you? There are 20 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Who are the rest 4? 2, I. And alright, Sneha's mic is not working. Let's talk to Ashish. Yes, Ashish, what about you? Is my mic not working? No, it's
Hello.
Yes, Ashish. Speak.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I am Ashish. I am from INIT Puducherry. Yes, sir. I am aware of Python little bit.
Alright, good. So, Adarsh, introduction. Okay, Adarsh.
Hello.
Yes, Sneha is working. Yes, say.
Sir, sorry for the interruption.
No.
I'm doing BCA in JSS Women's College. I'm from Karnataka. And I haven't learned Python yet.
Alright, fine. I was also learning BCA some times ago. That's cool. What about Madhu? Okay, I skipped Adarsh. So, Adarsh, from where you are?
Good evening, sir. I am from Bokaro, Jharkhand.
Bokaro. Alright,
You.
good. From where, Madhu, you are? Mic not working, I think. Let's move to Swaroop.
Hello.
Yes, Madhu working there.
I'm from Hyderabad.
Hyderabad. Alright.
I just know the basics of Python,
Basics of Python, you know. Alright.
like user-defined data types.
Data types or okay, cool. So Swaroop,
Yeah, good evening, sir. I'm Swaru from Hyderabad.
yes,
I know till intermediate level, sir, Python.
all right. And who's this? Hey, your name is pretty big. Please pronounce your name so that okay, she has left. Let's see with the who's this? What is his name? Anusha. Yes, Anusha's mic was now working. I think he's saying just a minute. Sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, I'm Anusha from Tamil Nadu.
All right.
And regarding. Sir?
No, it's all right. I said all right. Yes, speak.
Uh, and then regarding Python, yes, I know a bit of coding in Python, but then libraries and all, I just know basics, sir, not deeply.
No problem. It's okay. That's why I'm here. No problem. What is Pinjari? You from where you are?
Hi sir, I am Sai Baba from Andhra Pradesh.
Hi. Good evening.
Regarding to the Python advanced level, still I am learning Python related also, sir.
All right. So you are in the learning process. Okay. So among
Yeah,
of
yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So from 18, I think 4 to 5 know a bit of Python. Uh, that's okay. No
Sure.
problem.
Hello.
Yes. Who is left?
Hello.
Yes, yes.
I'm Vamshi Krishna, sir. I'm from Andhra Pradesh.
Okay, I left you. Sorry. Yes, say.
Yeah. I know a bit like user-defined functions and loops. And last time I attended a workshop, which was from IIC Bangalore, right?
Okay, you attended. Okay.
Yeah, sir. From there I learned about NumPy and all, but not that good. I mean, I'm still in learning stage of all those.
Okay, fine. So you have attended there. Okay, so you and others are from my previous also. And anyone there more
Yes,
left
sir.
out?
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Good
Okay.
evening, sir. My name is Pooja.
Pooja, yes.
I'm from Kolkata and I'm an MCA student. Sir, I just know the basics of Python till string manipulation.
String manipulations. Okay. So one I again got from the West Bengal. That's good. Probably I'm also from there. That's good.
Okay.
So in the previous session also in the data science I got someone from the Durgapur. So I'm from the Asansol there. So I got there from okay. Fine. So we'll be going with the basics tomorrow. And what is the time? Let's just start if we get some time. Okay, fine. So I think you might have Python with you because everyone should have Python and Anaconda or PyCharm with them. So I will start with the basics. Don't worry. Okay. So let me start here only. So if someone is not having, what you can do is you can go to the Google Collaboratories. Just 1 moment. You can just write for the Google Colab. Okay. Click on the Google Colab and it will come to there. Just click on the new notebook. I will open it like that. Let's click on this. So are you guys clear with the AI concept now? Okay, Adarsh has asked me. Sorry, Adarsh, I forgot. Let me repeat it. So Adarsh asked about the difference between a speech and a voice. So see, Adarsh, it is something like I said. Yeah. Let's suppose this is your user ID. Okay, let's say your user ID is 1, 2, 3, 4, and your password is, let's say, Z. This is your password. Now you come to this is your system. Okay, this is your system. My drawing is a bit bad, so just go with this. Okay, you came and you just gave an input to the system. So that input would be the password of that, right? So that would not be the user ID, that would be the password you would be giving. So the system will check whether it is you or not. How it will check? It will see whether what you are speaking is correct or not, whether the password 2 is correct or not. If it is correct, then it will see whether the voice it heard was the user's voice or not. If it was, then the system will log in, and if it is not, the system will not log in. That's it. So speech will check what was spoken, and the voice will check who is speaking. That is the difference. Understood, Adarsh?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. So there we'll see the bit of Python. So Python, I think much of you don't know, so I'll give you a basics introduction. So for those who don't know Python, what you guys can do, see, I'm having a class at 8 p.m. today in the for the Python. I'll be discussing the Python basics from the basics. So if for those who don't know Python basics, anything about the Python, you can attend that session with this same link. Okay, at 8 p.m. You can join at 8 p.m. and you can understand the Python basics. For those who don't know, okay, for those who don't know, please, those who know, please, what you will do there. So it will be a time waste for you. So for those who don't know, you could come there and you can just get it there, because I'll have to iterate the things, or you can say I'll have to repeat the things for same and same over there. So I'll not repeating now. I'll end the class. We will continue in the 8 p.m. For those who don't know the Python, we will start with the Python introduction there. What exactly is Python? Why we use Python? All there. And till then, everyone just install your Python ideally, which would look like something as your ideally platform is like this. Then you might have Anaconda installed there. For that, as I said, Anaconda would look like Anaconda Navigator. Let it load. So you should have your Anaconda Navigator with you. We'll be working with the Jupyter section. Okay, so is there any problem with anyone in the AI, or is there any problem to understand what exactly is AI? What are the different types of AI? Now, anyone there out having any problems can write your reply yes or no in the chat box. I can see there. Replying, waiting for your replications. Yes, no problems, I think. That's good. So I think my Anaconda is open now. It's still running. Okay, meanwhile, if you work with PyCharm, you can have this one. Right. So Adarsh, and what is his name? What is your short name? Your short name, just above the Adarsh one. What is your short name? I can see. Let me see there.
Vamsi sir.
This, not this one. One second.
Yeah.
Vamsi sir. Vamsi sir.
Vamsi. Okay, now I can see it. Yeah. So it's Vamsi there. It was not visible here. So it's Vamsi. So you would be, I think you would be remembering this one, that Har Cascades and all these, right? We did it in the night session. We did it there till 11.
Yes, sir.
You might remember these things. All right then.
Yes, sir.
Why this is not coming?
Yes,
okay, we have one there, so we'll have to exit. So this is probably your Anaconda look alike. So you would be launching it just a bit. It would come like a Jupyter cell. So yes, someone asked something. Where it is? Others, what is reinforcement learning? Okay, we'll deal that. Don't worry. The reinforcement learning is the kind where the machine learns by the you can say trial and hit method, like for the rewards and penalties. We'll discuss those. So from tomorrow we are starting with the session from Python. Yes, we'll go with that too. Okay, we'll start from that only, because a lot of them don't know the manipulations. So how will I get to that? What is data science and in different fields? All right. So see, data science is a study where you deal with a lot of data. That can be a science for a big data, right? So wait 1 second. Just before your class, I deal with the data science sections. So let me show you this PPT too. So data science, in a very simple words, you can say it's a blend of various tools, algorithms, and the machine learning principles to goal with the discover hidden patterns. So in the data science, you have very much fields to master on for the information systems, mathematics, business science. These are the masters of the data science. They are called as the data scientists there. We have some job predictions or jobs trending over there. So there we come with some of the topics. These are the algorithms. Don't worry, we'll learn all the algorithms in our course. Okay. Moving ahead, okay, these will be covered there. So one by one, we'll study all these things. This is a clustering method. We'll do that too. These are the things. Okay. These are the topics which cover in the data science. I was saying about the business intelligence. So we just have a comparison between business intelligence and the data science. So job profiles are very much big in the field of data science. Okay. When we see their job profiles in the Python field, so we'll find that in Python the job profiles are a lot good. So in the morning I had a Python class and I discussed about the job profiles in the Python. So I can show you that from here. So in the job profiles we have development frameworks, game development, big data, smart services, AI data science, web testing. So we compare with the Java. So we see the Python has been increasing a lot, and the salaries you get in the Python is huge, a lot much there. Okay, so in the top first we can see Python here. The previous last year we were having a 28.73%, and it's now has been a share of 31.73%, a growth of that. Okay, so this is now for the Python. In the scale factor, in the India it's 501, or in the US it's 88K over there. So it's an average salary.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
So what is the difference in using Python or Java? What differences more?
Interpreter.
Interpreter.
Compiler interpreter. You understand that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So from your point of view, which is the better one to use, Python or Java?
I'm a Python developer, so I definitely will go with the Python.
Okay, sir.
Okay, Java is good there, but Python is obviously good for me. Okay, so there are a lot of things to do with the Python. Okay, and it's good.
Okay,
You can see the graph. See, if you see, Java is a very good competitor of the Python there, and you can see the graphs of the things. Java is from the beginning, it's a consistent level. It's maintaining at their consistent level at top. But Python is growing, and it will overcome. I am definitely confident about that. So in India, it's an average salary of this. In the US, it's something like that. And for the software engineer, if you are a Python developer, for Java, what happens? You need to have a lot of experience in the Java sector. In Python, what happens if you have an experience of 1 to 4 years, you will get a salary of 588,000 something rupees. That is much. Okay, that is good if you get it. So yeah, and 5 to 9 years you get some 1 billion, and then again for 2 million, and so on you get there. So there is an average salary of these sectors if you learn Python and that. Okay, I'll discussing these things when you learn from the Python basics. Don't worry, we'll start with all those things. Yeah. So let me stop your video.